Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk. We have a great docket for you today. Let's get to it. First, Amhaud Arbery's family. Yeah, they're not so happy with the feds because of a plea deal. Letecia Stauch. One word describes it. Delay. An example of some road rage. And this is why you need to know your state recording laws so you don't get in trouble. And then finally, our dumb criminal of the day. Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk, the most fact-driven, unbiased, true crime channel. Remember, if you haven't done so, please subscribe. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, hit that little bell so you receive notifications. And remember, if you can't watch us here on YouTube, you can listen to us by downloading us on any of your favorite podcasting apps. Now, before we get started, we have a special guest tomorrow night on our show After Hours. We have a cold case detective coming to talk about what he does. It's going to be great. Come enjoy it. Now, before we get to the docket, we need to support the people that support us. So thank you for Care Of for sponsoring this edition of Crime Talk. Stay on track with your health goals in this new year with Care Of's daily vitamin packs that make organization and your resolution easy to stick to every day. Care Of is a subscription service that ships high-quality, personalized vitamins and powders conveniently to your door every month. Care Of has a quiz online that took me just a few minutes to fill out, and I was recommended vitamins and powders that reflect my goals for 2022. My biggest goal is to lose 30 pounds. I'm so glad Care Of reached out to me to do a partnership because I want to prioritize my health so I can keep up with life. Now, Care Of's products are made from good-for-you, clean ingredients that are backed by the latest science and research so you can feel good about what's going into your body. I just opened a Care Of packet in the morning, and I've got zinc, calcium, vitamin D, a multivitamin for general health, collagen, and a probiotic blend for digestion. Now, for 50% off of your first order of Care Of, go to takecareof.com and enter code CrimeTalk50. That's takecareof.com and enter code CrimeTalk50 for 50% off your first order. I'll put a link in the description below. Okay, let's get to the docket. Gregory and Travis McMichael, the father and son convicted of the murder of Amhaud Arbery, are entering into a plea for federal hate crimes charged in order to serve their time in federal prison. The McMichaels were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in a Glynn County, Georgia court in early January for the murder of Amhaud Arbery. The men were also indicted on federal hate crime charges. Now, the plea agreement has been sent to the United States District Court for the Southern District of Georgia for consideration. Attorney Lee Merritt called federal prison a country club compared to state prison, saying the facilities are less populated, have better funding, and are generally more accommodated than the state holding facilities, according to tweets from his account. Now, on January 7th, ahead of the McMichaels' sentencing in state court, Merritt said Arbery's mother had rejected a plea deal put forth by federal prosecutors that would have put the McMichaels away for 30 years each. She rejected that offer because we believe that today the state will move forward with life sentences without the possibility of parole, and we think that the appropriate sentence would be that. William Roddy Bryant was not mentioned in Sunday's court filings, and Bryant, who shot video of the Arbery killing, was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. Merritt referred to the plea agreement as a backroom deal and said this is the example of the Department of Justice literally snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Amhaud Arbery's family is furious at the Department of Justice for giving two of its killers a plea deal that sends them to federal prison to serve their life sentence instead of a state penitentiary. Wanda Cooper, Amhaud's mother, is expected to go before the judge this afternoon at a pretrial hearing for the pair to beg them to not accept the deal. Okay, well, let's talk about this. When this case first came out, I was given so much flack because I said the McMichaels and Mr. Roddy Bryan were going down hard, that they were in the wrong, and that their defense, that they were making some sort of citizen's arrest, was not going to fly. You should have seen the hate mail I got. But on this particular issue, listen, under the Victims' Rights Act, the victims and the victim's family in this particular case only have to be consulted with by the prosecutors in the case. The family does not hold veto power over what the ultimate offer will be. The court can say, and representations will be made by the prosecutors, that the family opposes this offer, but the district attorney or the United States attorney feels that this is appropriate. Let's face it, these guys are never getting out of prison. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, if you go to federal prison, it's a country club. Not true, not true. I've handled many cases that took place at a federal prison. They are just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than any state prison. Maybe the facilities some places are a little nicer, but everybody thinks you're going off and you're going to play pickleball and tennis and life is good. No, you are still in prison. Now, it makes sense. If somebody has no violence, they're going to be at a lower minimum facility, okay? What you have to remember here is the McMichaels were convicted of first-degree murder. So even if they're serving their time in state prison or federal prison, they're going to be assessed points based upon the level of their conviction, the length of their sentence. They're not going to go to some cushy little country club federal prison. It's not going to happen, okay? Federal prisons are not any easier. Prison is prison. The only jail that I ever saw anybody that didn't mind going to was the Pitkin County Jail, which is known for, well, Aspen. Let's just say when people got in trouble there, they liked it. It was comfortable. They basically got breakfast made to order. Now, this was years ago, but I'm telling you, a lot different in county court, a detention facility versus prison. So I understand the family from Amhaud Arbery is upset. They think they're going to be too soft. They're going to serve life in prison and never get out. They're not going to go to some country club prison. Prison is prison. It's not going to be fun, particularly for these two. One's a former cop. The other one is basically, well, they're both basically racists, and that was the basis for the plea. So I think you just have to deal with it. Hopefully the court will do this and this case can be over and everybody can move on. Because even if this wasn't part of the plea deal to serve their time in federal custody, they could ultimately wind up there anyway. And what does it really accomplish? Let it go. All right. I know some people may not like that, but that's just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. They got their pound of flesh. It's called life without parole. They're not going anywhere. They're going to die in prison. What does it really matter? They're not going anywhere. All right, next on the docket, Letecia Stauch. The word is delay. The January 13th, 2022 motions hearing has been delayed. But I guess it's kind of good reasons. Apparently, one of the attorneys has had some sort of contact with COVID, so they are not going to do it. But even if they had it now, that's still almost 2 weeks away. You think that they would be ready. But that's what the courts are doing. They're delaying everything these days because of COVID. It's a convenient excuse not to get anything done. All right, next on the docket, road rage. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. A Florida man by the name of Eric Popper. And if anybody can hear some noise in the background, remember those windows that somebody broke out here at the offices? They're finally replacing them. So if you hear that, that's what it is. So the Florida man, Eric Popper, is now facing multiple charges after his fit of road rage was caught on his own dash cam. I guess, the old live streaming the crime scene. Popper is seen on his own dash cam video with, that's right, a thing that rhymes with run, out of his center console and aimlessly firing 11 shots at another driver, some apparently with his eyes closed. Now, the Florida Highway Patrol said that Popper opened fire on the other vehicle because he thought the other driver shot at him first. But what really happened was the other driver threw a water bottle at Popper's car after Popper cut him off on the highway on June 21st of 2021. The other driver honked his horn, and then Popper said, "Oh, F off," and slammed on his brakes. Both drivers then pulled over and called 911. Popper had voluntarily handed over his dashcam video for the investigation, which would eventually lead to the officers charging Mr. Popper with several counts, including aggravated assault with, that's right, things that rhyme with run. And Popper turned himself in on July 21st after posting bond. Ladies and gentlemen, I've told you this before. I love snug. Okay, I have an arsenal. It's your right to do so, but you can't do it stupid. You can't do it stupidly, okay? And pulling out snug at people on the highway is not the thing to do. Do you really want to go to prison for the rest of your life for somebody that cuts you off? Really? Now, if you are a hothead and road rage is your thing that just sets you off, my advice would be don't carry a knife. I've seen many people charged with stuff over the years. Simply pointing a knife at somebody is a crime in most jurisdictions, ladies and gentlemen. It's called menacing. You can't do it. And as I've said, I love knife, but as I tell everybody, they complicate everything. Okay? When it comes to road rage, sometimes you got to just let it go and ask yourself, what would Scott tell me to do? Scott would tell me to let it go, right? Don't pull a gun on somebody unless you truly believe your life is in imminent danger of death or serious bodily injury. And even then, you better be able to prove it. And this body cam or this dash cam that Mr. Popper had, he should have talked to somebody because that did not help him at all. Next on the docket, a Peeping Tom. A school employee, shocked, was arrested in Cobb County, Georgia on 3 counts of felony eavesdropping, surveillance, and 1 count of first-degree child cruelty. The Peeping Tom has been identified as Justin C. Julian. Of course, we'll give him the presumption of innocence. The Peeping Tom allegedly installed a camera in the boys' restroom. One of the students was the one who found the recording device and became distraught, which prompted authorities to charge Mr. Julian with child cruelty as well. As soon as the administration discovered the issue, they immediately reported it to the police and are fully cooperating with the investigation. The Cobb County School District said in a statement, the school district says they are continuing their efforts in trying to make the schools safer and set up a tip line for people to call in with any safety concerns. Now, Julian was reportedly locked up in lieu of a $15,000 bond, which he cannot make. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I understand somebody's got to be the janitor at the school. I get it. But man, you really got to check these people out, because what have I said before? Why do some of these people want to work around children? Because that's where the children are. You have to double, triple check and continue to verify these people, ladies and gentlemen. It's a dangerous world out there. All right, next on the docket. This is why you have to be aware of the recording laws when you record other people. Some people, it's a 2-consent state, which means both parties have to consent. Some states, it's a 1-party consent state, which means only one party recording can record. But if not, guess what? Listen to this crazy story. A Virginia police officer and his wife are now facing criminal charges after a woman allegedly recording him for proof he was having an affair. But the tape she recorded also contained a allegation of, that's right, rhymes with tape, accusation, that could be crucial for an upcoming trial. Now, Sharon Maddox admitted to secretly recording her husband last year when she became concerned he was having an affair. The husband, identified as Sean Maddox, is a Chesapeake police officer. Sharon said she found a blonde hair inside his patrol car, and there was some stuff on Facebook that alerted her. Sharon reportedly claimed that she bought a voice-activated audio recorder and hid it in her husband's police cruiser. And her instincts were right, as Sharon's lawyer, Christine Paulding, confirmed that the recorded conversations indicated that Sean was having an affair with a 911 dispatcher. Now, during one of the conversations between the 911 dispatcher and Sean Maddox, the dispatcher accuses him of doing terrible things to her and abducting her. So police began questioning Sharon about the recordings, and she initially thought it was for evidence against her husband, but she was ultimately charged and arrested. The 911 dispatcher later spoke with investigators, explaining that Sean gave her $100 for a hotel room with plans to meet up with her later. She said this was something they had done several times before. Now, shortly after the night in their hotel room, the dispatcher went on a date with another police officer, which apparently infuriated Sean. You know, the guy that's cheating on his wife is upset that the girl that he's cheating with is going out with another guy. Boy, right? Well, Sean allegedly sent over 20 text messages to the dispatcher and pulled her over while she was on her way home and even threatened to arrest her. According to the arrest warrant, Sean forced the dispatcher back to the hotel room and that he allegedly did terrible things to her. He also reportedly filmed part of the horrific incident. Sean later allegedly texted the dispatcher and told her she had no idea how hard he had to try to control himself not to do bad things. Well, it sounds like he allegedly did bad things. Now, Sean's attorneys completely denied the accusation, which is their job to do so, saying that the dispatcher was a scorned lover who was making up the story as some sort of revenge. Sean was arrested and charged with doing those terrible things, abduction and other related offenses, and his wife was charged and arrested with felony wiretapping. Sean is currently out on bail, but suspended by the Chesapeake Police Department pending an investigation. His trial is scheduled for May. It's going to be a credibility contest for sure. And if you don't trust somebody, I suggest you go to CrimeTalkSearch.com. Check them out. Don't go recording people unless it's a one-party consent state. Just saying, all right? You got to make sure you do it right so you don't get in trouble. All right, next on the docket, our dumb criminal of the day. Last week's winner was the two men that propped up a corpse and brought it to the post office in Ireland in an attempt to collect the dead man's pension. Yes, the real-life Weekend at Bernie. And today, just when you think you can't come up with more dumb criminals, we found them. Don't worry. We'll bring them to you every day. 2 people were arrested after Virginia state troopers found marijuana that they said that they had purchased for their boss. Well, the Virginia State Police received a tip that 2 individuals were traveling to Lost Creek to purchase a large quantity of drugs. Troopers observed a Mazda which matched the description but was registered under the name of Little Baby. Now, Maxwell Carr and Kendra Knight were the ones driving the vehicle and provided consent to search their vehicle. Troopers found 1 bag of marijuana concealed in a vacuum container in the trunk, as well as 3 bags concealed beneath the gear shifter. When Troop spoke with Carr, he said that he had purchased the marijuana for his boss. So I guess that makes it okay. Knight's statement matched Carr's. The pair was provided the address of where marijuana was bought, and they were charged with possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, and both are currently out on bond. I get it. It's just marijuana. I get it. That's what people say. That's what they say here in Colorado. But it's still against the law. But they're not dumb criminals for buying marijuana and selling it to somebody else or picking it up for their boss. It's the fact that they thought they could get off by saying they bought it for their boss. That's right. That's why Carr and Knight are our dumb criminals of the day. Congratulations. All right. Thanks for watching. Just a reminder, join us tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Mountain Time live when we have a cold case investigator live here in the After Dark studios located just north of the CrimeTalk studio. It's going to be great. I know we were going to think about doing the hangar, but we said, no, let's do it here. It's a little easier for all involved. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on CrimeTalk.